So just keeping it real, guys. Gotta be level with you. They've kind of ruined Bat Mater, aka Betrayal's card text. So make sure you're aware of that. It's very similar to Ether Barrel and other similar effects that have also been ruined in recent memory in the TCG. And this one is no different. We'll see how they rule on it. But with that out of the way, we gotta get into a proxy profile just ahead of the new set with our good brother Staven with Exosister. Welcome back. We in the lab. They in the lab over here. They in the lab. They in the lab. They in the lab. What's going on, guys? Pegasus from the Wise Guys, and I'm here with Staven. You know, he looks like he's fresh out of a boy band, low key. You know. Just kidding. He's an Exosister enthusiast like myself, and we got a proxy profile for you. So I'm gonna start talking.
Yep. So. We've been talking about this deck for a while now. The new support's coming out in a few weeks, and so I just started testing it, and I was just gonna show you everyone my testing list, I guess. So everything in here is not final, but I'll just get right into it. All right. So of course, 3 Martha. It's obviously the best card in the deck.
Still have to play her, still no question about it, no alternate way to play the deck.
I mean, I think there would have been if the ban list didn't hit certain things, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to play it pure, just to figure it out more or less, how we should be playing it.
Fair.
So then, obviously, you have to pair that with the Ellis. I'm realizing now there should be a shifter in here somewhere, but it's not in here. So
shame.
Yeah, just keep that in mind. You probably should be playing shifter.
Shame on you,
unfortunately.
Shame.
Yeah. And then when we just play one of the other names, these two, this is more so you can summon it off the trap. I'm still not sure.
She's my favorite because people call her irrelevant.
Yeah. I'm still not sure if this is correct, or if you play like 2 and 1. I just find it difficult sometimes when you draw extra names to like summon them, or to like keep your resources correct after you resolve bodies. You run out of bodies really quickly, so that's something I was noticing testing, especially today.
So you feel like this number is cool, but you might want to bump it up, maybe? Or
it's possible, because like you really only want to see Martha, because we have like so many extra ways to the other names now.
Right.
But you really lose a lot of grind if you, the less names you go. So,
and then just in case, this is like you get to draw one. This is like the hard brick, and this is the extra normal one, right? Or special one out of your hand. I mean.
Yeah. So like honestly, I wish I could just play like 6 Ellis with it, but obviously you can't. So yeah, and this, so kind of like this one's kind of honorary, but H key. It's more of an extender. There are specific weird ways you can actually turn this into a starter in this specific version. Tonight I actually wasn't playing with Aratama. Aratama could be correct going in the future, depending on if people are playing the type of cards that stop it, because Aratama is the only card that ends on like a 1.5 like full board, like the full combo. So could be correct going forward, but like I never bricked, so
still a lot to learn though. I feel you, because I've been playing it a lot myself.
So then those are kind of like the monsters, Exosister monsters, and then 3 Fua, obviously. So this is the only hand trap besides shifter that I would play at the moment. I don't think the other hand traps are that good, and so I'll get to the non-engine stuff here in a second after I get through the new card, the Bat Mater. This card,
outstanding proxy, by the way, bro.
yeah, but this card increases your consistency a lot, but it also does a lot. It lets you play around specific things as well. So there are like instances where sometimes it's correct to normal summon an exo name and then activate this, because if they interact with you at all, you can force them to banish a hand trap that they use on you, therefore onwards, and then you'll get to trigger your exo names. So other than that though, it searches 2 names and then you discard a card, and then also it'll give you an extra normal summon, which does it comes up when you're pushing going
So
second.
it's really important to maximize this card.
Yeah.
I can hear from all those points you just made.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It definitely helps you going second to get an extra push as well, which this deck kind of lacked. But yeah, and then I'll get into the non-engine that I chose to play. Actually, me and Greg had talked about this like over a month ago, but we're actually playing the Radiant type.
Well, my flu idea is ruined, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, they got your Featherstorm.
I
But
got my birds up out of there.
so the theory behind this is that we're starting to get a lot of really good quick plays. Obviously, I forgot to mention packs, but that's considered in the quick plays that we play. Like in decks, we always can search a quick play to use to draw 2 if we need to. So we're starting to get to the point where like, yeah, and then like the new crown, we're starting to get to the point where we have like enough strong quick plays that if we can Fua or Perulia somebody and put them on a half board, then we're able to like just break their boards with like combinations of these. And so I think that was something I was trying.
How do you feel like it is? Do you feel like it's correct? Something you need to work on?
I think it's good, but I still don't know if it's correct, because obviously Exosister has been known to just be a deck that plays a lot of like 1-card starters and then just like a ton of hand traps. Like it's always been that way.
Right.
But I'm just trying to test this out and see if it's good. It felt good. But
Really,
like
I already know this card's gonna be like $2 trillion, bro. But you know, we're gonna do the best we can to get 3 of them as quick as possible. Hopefully.
Yeah, and then just the last quick play was the call by. So yeah, I think that's an idea that people can try, especially with decks that like naturally have a quick play where you could search it to resolve this to draw 2.
Pax is definitely a very strong one.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of ways to draw 2. I just think that like having Pot of Greed in your deck is never a bad thing. And then you have negation, you have spot removal, negation. Yeah, so
I say where your point, Fua into these also really matters.
Yeah.
And maybe not as much a leaning on hand traps as the old days, I guess.
because I just feel like a lot of the hand traps don't do enough anymore, unless you're like shiftering somebody or fooling somebody, then they just don't feel like they do enough. And I noticed when I was playing Radiant Typhoon that if I fooed somebody in that deck, I was almost always breaking their board. They ended on a half board versus like these kind of quick plays, then I was almost always breaking their board. So I thought it's worth trying in other stuff. So and then we'll get to the traps, which are just 1 and 1. So
you don't need to play more than one.
the reason you don't have to play more than one of these is because of the new extra deck monster, which can set this from the grave. So you actually just don't need multiples, unless you really want to draw them, which I don't really want to draw them. I'd rather search them. So
And that's Exceed does this set.
yeah, the new Exceed will set from your deck or graveyard during the end phase. So I'll just get into the extra deck now. 3 Michaelis. So this one you play 3 because it's it searches your spells. Yeah, sometimes you search those traps with it. It's just kind of like the best one to play at 3 because it does a lot in the deck, and you need it for grind. And then the new one, the Caramel. This one, like I was saying, basically it's basically it's basically a negate. So if you don't know what it does, when your opponent activates a monster effect or a normal spell or trap card, you can change the effect of that card to add 1 card from your opponent's grave to their hand. And so that triggers all the Exosister effects, where normally when you played the deck before, your opponent could just not do that and then you never get to tag out. But now you can force them to do that. So for example, they activate a card, you chain this, and then you chain the Bodice. You summon those monsters, and then they're forced to give you a card from your grave. So there's like funny situations where you can Shifter, and Shifter is the only card in your grave, and they have to give you back Shifter, and you have no cards in your grave, so that'll be fun to get hit by.
So you're saying another way to loop Shifter, possibly?
Yeah, but it does. Obviously, it doesn't come up too often, but it can happen. So
Yeah, it's possible though. I heard loop Shifter, bro. That's all I heard.
and I'm just going 2 of Caspatel, 2 of this one specifically because it searches a monster.
This is a mandatory dweller, right? Or the
Yeah, this
half
one
dweller.
stops monsters being special summoned, I believe. Yeah, and then this one is effects in the grave. So like theoretically, like I was talking about, they activate a card, you go Caramel effect, Chain Bodice summons 2. Then in the new chain, after they give you a card, you go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, summon this, and then you just lock them out of the graveyard.
Completely.
Yeah.
So it's
So-
a full dweller.
Yeah. So like, you won't always do that, obviously, depending on your matchup. But yeah, it just basically gets you to all your quick effects earlier, including, including Jabrine as well. At 1.
She's the one that does a lot of damage, right?
She
like
boosts
pluses
everyone
it.
by 8, and then she's also can negate a monster on the field.
Know your OTKs, people. Oh.
Yeah, and then we get to play
It's unaffected when it freezes on field.
2 Magnifica,
It has a common mix.
which is kind of like sometimes you end on it, sometimes you don't. Depends on your board. But I think it's actually safer now to end on it in this deck.
Is that not the same?
Depending on your hand, obviously, because when you play something like Crown, you can play with it like they try to nib you, and then you just crown your own Magnifica, and then yeah. So
Crowning your own Magnifica.
yeah,
Sounds like a lot of fun in 2026, bro.
yeah, but
Still the best card, best extra deck card, low key in the game to me. But you know, there's always better stuff.
and then I'll just go to the non-Exosister stuff. So 1 Zeus.
Worth too.
I mean, this deck before Martha was just you're just trying to Zeus Turbo, and then Typhon, and then our targets for the Fallen and the Virtuous would just be the Albion, and then the new Synchro. Basically, this is better than playing another one of this because this can shuffle this back, so you still can. So you only have to play 2 extra deck cards instead of 3, and it also bounces.
And this
well.
is also in burst. Or this
Yep,
is-
this is coming out in Burst Protocol.
As well as the rest of those cards, right?
Yep.
Well, what do you think about Exosister? Is that the speed that it needed? Still needs something?
I think
Big fella's over here like, nah, we got something for it. We got something for
I
it.
think it probably will, like, if I'm being completely honest, I think it could be rogue level. I think it still has some issues, like you run out of names quickly in a grind. There's a lot of decks that grind, Draco Tail being one of them. I don't know. I think you can beat Draco Tail if you can bodies them successfully and then force them into letting you make the cards that shut down their graveyard.
Fair.
But even then, like, you know, like it's possible that they can play around that. Just Phimina is really strong. Phimina didn't get touched. And then, you know, with like Vanquish Soul potentially coming back into the meta too. I don't think it can.
Stake your soul.
I don't think it will be able to grind with that deck.
I knew you was gonna say that.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's good. I don't know how good yet. Obviously, we're still in early phases of testing. But yeah, like I said, like
It's a new format, bro. It's a new format. We're getting there, bro.
we're having fun, and I think that's the most important thing.
That's the most important thing, bro. That's why we pay him the big bucks. We out. Shout out to the wise guys.